that it was.
This morning, shock resignation. Christine Milne quits as leader of the Australian Greens. Supermarket giant Woolworths to cut hundreds of jobs. And Princess Charlotte meets the Queen as her uncle Harry lays low in Sydney.
This is 7 News Morning Edition with Anne Sanders.
Good morning. In breaking news, Christine Milne has quit as leader of the Australian Greens. The party is meeting in Canberra to elect a new leader at a time when the Greens' numbers in the Senate make them a powerful force in deciding whether government bills pass or fail. Seven's Tim Lester is at Parliament House following events this morning. Good morning to you, Tim. Now, the party is meeting as we speak.
Green MPs are filing into the meeting room at the moment for a meeting due at 11:30.
Giant Woolworths is axing 400 jobs to cut costs and make up ground against rival Coles. It's trying to save $500 million over the next financial year. Food and liquor sales are not as strong as hoped. They were up by 2.3% in the March quarter, compared with a 5.4% rise at Coles. The company is also experiencing lower petrol sales and weakness at its Big W chain. 400 positions have already been lost from its back office operations. Garbage trucks have blockaded the offices of SBS in Sydney in protest at the public broadcaster's decision to go ahead with controversial reality show Struggle Street. Live to reporter Angie Asimus. Angie, good morning. Is this action likely to sway executives?
Well, Anne, it was an impressive show from the Mount Druitt community, but it is unlikely to change the...
Coming up next in 7 News, business and finance, growing fears for an Australian missing in Nepal. Also, the hunt for these Sydney thieves who've stolen $300,000 worth of postage stamps. In breaking news, officials have just released details of a public appearance by Prince Harry in Sydney tomorrow. We go live to Chris Reason in the newsroom. Chris, good morning to you. Where will he be?
Good morning to you, Anne. Well, this public meet and greet have been speculated about for the last couple of days, but confirmation just about 4 minutes ago.
Coming up next in 7 News, Mitchell Pearce opens up about his origin prospects. The Wanderers' Asian journey comes to a heartbreaking end. And a remorseful Luke Hodge cops a heavy penalty from the AFL Tribunal. West Coast faces losing Josh Kennedy for the rest of the AFL season, with a star forward likely to need surgery on his injured elbow. Meanwhile, Luke Hodge admits there's no place in the competition for striking after being outed for 3 matches at the tribunal last night. The Hawthorn captain. Next in 7's Morning News, the national weather forecast with David Brown. Time to get a check of the weather forecast now with David Brown. Good morning, Brownie. What's it looking like?
Yes, good morning, Anne. Well, the cold winter westerly winds have arrived ahead of time and they're expected to stick around well into next week. In fact, let's go to our weather wall. Heading off to Hobart at the moment. In fact, we've got a heavy shower coming in off Mount Wellington. You can see this rainbow effect at the moment. Quite pretty, isn't it? But the wind chill feels like 2 degrees and it's snowing on top of Mount Wellington. In Melbourne, cloud continues to build. We'll see a few showers pop up, well, over the next hour or two. Should reach a high of around 17 degrees. In Sydney at the moment, we've got blue sky. Wind chill is also quite high. Feels like 9 degrees. Should reach a top of around 20. And in Brisbane, well, it's warm today, shooting for a top of 29 degrees. Cooler conditions building tomorrow. From the satellite, we have this vigorous westerly airstream that's affecting the southern half of the nation, and of course it will persist well into next week. To the north is belt of high pressure that's bringing clear skies to most of the nation. There'll be a little change in the overall pattern tomorrow, although we'll start to see some cooler air spill into the southeast corner of Queensland. More showers and some snow, as we can see, falling across the alpine areas over the southeast, and little change in the western half of the country. In Brisbane tomorrow, becoming unsettled, cooler, maybe a shower or two, 25. Sydney tomorrow, clear skies, 19 degrees. Melbourne, a few passing showers, 16, and a shower or two in Adelaide, 17. Only 11 in Hobart. That's latest weather, Anne.
Thanks, Brownie. That's 7 News to now. See you tomorrow.